Okay.
Thank you so much, Sakshi. And again, thank you so much, sir. We have some question in our chat box. We have Sneha asking that, good evening, sir. Sir, can you
हम्म,
please tell us how the population growth impact our environment and our natural resource?
बहुत टेढ़ा क्वेश्चन है। यस, जो हमारा कार्बन फुटप्रिंट है उसे बढ़ेगा, एनर्जी की रिक्वायरमेंट बढ़ेगी, और पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ जैसे सबसे ज़्यादा आप देखोगे कि जितने भी जो कार्बन का जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है वो अकेला चाइना का सबसे ज़्यादा है। और ये बहस चल रहा है, ये बहुत ही बेतुकी बहस है कि पर कैपिटा पोल्यूशन बहुत कम है। वो नहीं देखना है, हमको एब्सोल्यूट देखना है, जो क्योंकि एनवायरनमेंट के ऊपर है। वो ये नहीं देख रहा है कि पर कैपिटा है कि एब्सोल्यूट है। जो एब्सोल्यूट है वो बहुत ज्यादा है। तो हमारा चाइना नंबर 1 पे है, फिर बाकी यूएसए, रशिया 2, 3, 4 में, इंडिया भी अंडर 10 में है। तो डेफिनेटली पॉपुलेशन बढ़ने से इन्वायरमेंट पे बहुत ज्यादा फर्क पड़ता है, क्योंकि यू डोंट हैव द अल्टरनेटिव सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी। अभी हम लोगों को ध्यान जागरूक हुआ है और हम लोग रिन्यूएबल सोर्स पे जा रहे हैं और दूसरे दूसरे सोर्स पे जा रहे हैं। लेकिन फिर भी ये कह देना कि हमारा जीरो कंट्रीब्यूशन होगा अबाउट 2080 मुश्किल है, मुश्किल है। और जैसे जैसे पॉपुलेशन बढ़ेगा हमारे एनवायरनमेंट पर ज्यादा एडवर्स इफेक्ट पड़ेगा।
Thank you so much, sir. Moving on to next question, Neelam Bedi. From Neelam Bedi, India should apply two-child policy. Is it possible, and how will it affect our population in both positive and negative ways? How will we manage this population growth?
क्या नाम बताया उनका?
Neelam, sir.
नीलम। नीलम जी, अगर आप मुझे सुन रही हैं तो आप तो पॉलिसी की बात कर रही हो, वो तो है ही। अभी आपने देखा फर्टिलिटी रेट हमारा 2.1 है, 2.2 है। मतलब हर एक जो औरतें हैं वो सिर्फ 2 बच्चा ही पैदा कर रही हैं, तो वो है अभी, वो ऑटोमेटिक ऑटोनोमस है। अभी हमारा फैमिली का साइज बहुत कम हो गया है, मैंने कारण भी बताया। कुछ कुछ मिथ है अनंता, जैसे लोग बोलते हैं पोलीगामी से बच्चा बढ़ता है, जैसे मुस्लिम को टारगेट करते हैं। नहीं, मुस्लिम एक तो 14 या 15 या से 16% है, उनके कितने प्रतिशत पोलीगामी करते हैं? अगर आप पूरे इंडिया में पोलीगामी का डेटा देखेंगे तो देखेंगे कि नॉन मुस्लिम में ज्यादा है। दूसरा बात, एक आपको मैं बात बता दूं कि पोलीगामी, फॉर एग्जांपल, मैं थोड़ा सा डिविएट कर रहा हूं, पोलीगैमी जो है उससे पॉपुलेशन घटता है। और इनफैक्ट जो हमारे पुराने सिविलाइजेशन में बहुत सारे जो राजा महाराजा थे अपने देश में, अपने राज्य में पोलीगैमी डिक्लेयर करते थे कि आप लोग पोलीगैमी करो ताकि पॉपुलेशन कंट्रोल हो, क्योंकि बच्चा पर औरत होता है। अगर आप एक मर्द 8 औरत को रखता है, अगर वही औरत वो 8 मर्द के साथ रहता तो वो 5 5 6 6 बच्चा पैदा करता है। लेकिन अगर वो एक मर्द के साथ है तो वो 2 2 बच्चा करेगा, तो वो पॉपुलेशन उसे घटता है। और वो छोड़िए, ये तो एक मिथ की बात हुई। लेकिन अभी नीलम जो आपने पूछा, ये ऑटोनोमस हमारा जो बच्चे पैदा करने का जो संख्या है पर औरत, वो 2 के आसपास है। सो और दूसरी बात, हम कोहेसिव मेजर नहीं ले सकते। अभी मैंने कहा अगर कोहेसिव मेजर लेंगे कि यानी उससे ज्यादा हुआ आपकी नौकरी नहीं मिलेगी, आपको ये कर दिया जाएगा, तो आप इलेक्शन हारोगे, है ना? जो परसुएशन है वो अपने आप अभी 2 पर आ गया है। ओके।
Thank you so much, sir. I would say you are really a mythbuster right here in front of us.
थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
We have one more question from Preeti. Good afternoon, sir.
हाँ,
Sir, can you please tell us what are the potential effect of declining birth rate in some countries and region?
yes, there are countries, especially Scandinavian countries and uh, developed countries, their birth rate declined to an alarming level, and so that their immigration policy and other things, even आपको आश्चर्य होगा, जापान की जो इमिग्रेशन पॉलिसी इतनी स्ट्रिक्ट थी, अभी पिछले 2 महीने से उन्होंने अपना इमिग्रेशन पॉलिसी को चेंज किया, क्योंकि उन्होंने देखा कि भविष्य में उनका जो यूथ का पॉपुलेशन है वो बहुत कम होने जा रहा है, उनका एज पिरामिड बहुत अजीब तरह से चेंज होने जा रहा है. सो नाउ दे हैव स्टार्टेड इनवाइटिंग माइग्रेशन फ्रॉम for Japan immigration from other countries. So बर्थ रेट डिक्लाइन होके 0 तक पहुंच जाना अच्छी बात नहीं है. वहां पर कोहेसिव मेजर लगाना है, तो कोहेसिव मेजर नहीं लगा सकते. उनको बोलते हैं आप बच्चा पैदा करोगे, उनको फ्री हेल्थ देंगे, फ्री एजुकेशन देंगे, वगैरह वगैरह. तो ये अच्छी बात नहीं है कि बर्थ रेट 0 पहुंच जाए, और पहुंचा है बहुत सारे कंट्रीज में. ठीक.
Again, thank you so much, sir. We have our participants satisfied with your answers, and we'll move forward with our session. Thank you so much again for your presentation.
थैंक यू. मुझे अपने कॉलेज के विद्यार्थियों के साथ बात करने में बहुत अच्छा लगा. मैं वहाँ पर जो सेंट जेवियर्स कॉलेज है और जो सेंट जॉन्स स्कूल है, जो एक्साइसिस का जो पश्चिमी दीवार है, वहाँ से लेके सेंट जेवियर्स कॉलेज का जो पश्चिम दीवार, मैंने 15 साल बिताए हैं. मैं अभी हैदराबाद में हूँ, लेकिन जब मैं सपना भी देखता हूँ तो मैं रांची और कॉलेज में रहता हूँ. ठीक है.
That's very touching. And before moving forward, Ajay sir did said something that terrific slice of knowledge, Dr. Subhas sir. So thank you so much again from all our side.
अरे अपना थैंक यू बोलने का जरूरत नहीं है. आई एम अ पार्ट ऑफ योर्स.
Now, with such an optimistic note, let's move forward with our session. And now I would like to call Tanishka to please introduce our speaker of the day.
Am I audible to everybody?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you, Anamta. Is my video also visible?
I apologize, your video is not visible. Yes, it is visible now.
It is visible. Thank you, Anamta. A very warm afternoon to everyone present here. I am Tanishka Verma, co-leader NSS Unit 1, Patna Women's College, Patna. It is an honor and extreme pleasure to introduce Mrs. Gunjan Anupama ma'am, our second guest speaker for today's webinar on World Population Day, jointly organized by St. Xavier's College, Ranchi and Patna Women's College, Patna. Gunjan ma'am is a well-known educationist from Jharkhand with an impressive academic background. Ma'am did her schooling from Bishop Westcott Girls' School, Namkum, and her higher studies from St. Xavier's College, Ranchi. But her life isn't just limited to academic excellence. She possesses a keen interest for poetry. She finds profound joy in writing. She has 4 books to her credit. Her most recent work, Miscellanea, a tug of war between innocence and experience, ignorance and wisdom, was released last year at RSXC Chapel. It speaks of the brotherhood in the era of disparity. Her poetries are an amalgamation of reality and imagination. Throughout her professional journey, ma'am has held various roles. Each contributes to her vast knowledge and experience. She has also been a member at various social service organizations. She truly finds joy in the service of humanity. She is currently serving as the principal of Stryker Army Pre-Primary School, Namkum. So, on behalf of one and all, I welcome Gunjan ma'am, whose incredible journey will surely inspire us and expand our knowledge. Valuable words. Over to you, ma'am.
Sorry to interrupt. Father Principal has joined just now. Welcome, Father.
Very warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you so much for
Good
joining
evening.
us.
Father.
गुड आफ्टरनून फादर. आप पहले आते तो बहुत अच्छा रहता.
Good afternoon, Father.
Okay, we can continue. Gunjan, please unmute yourself. Gunjan, please unmute yourself.
A very good evening to our Father Principal, Dr. Nabor Lakra, our co-patron, Dr. Ajay Kumar Srivastava, our Honorable Chief Guest, Subhash Sarafin, and our chairperson, Arnav Datta, and my co-speaker, Dr. Amrita, and all the enthusiastic young students who are attending this webinar on World Population Day. As I begin my discussion on World Population Day, I would like to say that I'm going to speak about India. Like being a writer and a poet, I speak about whatever touches me. So like I at present, I am very much touched about India becoming the most heavily populated nation in the world. So while discussing about population growth, I'll speak a little about population, what is it, and what is contributing to its growth, and how to go about it. What are its positive aspects and how to handle the future. So as I start, the term population was used for the first time by Edward Osborne Wilson in 1971 while studying the population dynamics. The word population comes from the Latin word populus, meaning of the people. It includes the number of people with the capability to interbreed living in a particular area, region, country at a time. To calculate the percentage of population growth, the difference between the final and initial population is divided by the initial population and then multiplied by 100. In my further discussions, I'll be using the population growth percentage for the further explanations. Now, a little bit about, as I said, that my concern is like towards India and it's being now at present the most heavily populated nation in the world. So a little bit about the history. The first census of independent India was conducted in 1951, and it was the seventh census of its continuous series. Let us review the census figures of the past. 1951 showed a population growth of 1.3%. As we all know, the medical facilities were lacking those days and the infant mortality rate was high. By 1961, the medical facilities grew, conditions became better, the population growth increased to 2%. And for the next 30 years, from 1961 to 1991, the population growth remained steady at 2.2%. The first decade of the third millennium, 2001 to 2011, showed a decline in the population growth, which was now just 1.6%. Coming to the more recent years, 2020 had a population growth of 0.96%, 2021 had a population growth of 0.80%, and 2022 had a population growth of 0.68%. So we see that India has been showing the fluctuation of population growth around approximately 1% for the past 5 years. The fluctuation of population growth is around 1% for the past 5 years. A little bit more of the comparisons. 1951, the population density was 117 persons per square kilometer, and the population was 361 million. And 2023, the population density is 464 persons per square kilometer. It's very easy to imagine that how much the population has grown. And today the population is approximately 1,421,903,350. Then what accounts for the huge number of India's population? Now coming to the fertility rate. The fertility rate is on the decline, with being 2.1 at present. Yet, what is happening is the contraception needs are being unmet by 2% of the women in India. This accounts for, because ours is a huge, heavily populated nation, so this 2% of ladies, women who are going through this unmet contraception, this accounts for unplanned pregnancies amongst 20 million women in India. And regarding sterilization, even today, the stress is on women. Men remain totally out of the picture. So this is one of the contributory factors, according to me, to the population growth. Over the journey of time, there has been a decline in the infant mortality rate. This is good. The medical facilities increase and the infant mortality rate is on the decline. 1951, there were 187 deaths per 1,000 live births. And 2023, the number is reduced to 27 deaths per 1,000 live births. Positive growth is there, but yes, the contribution to the population growth is there. The religious mindset also requires a mention. According to surveys conducted, even though people are aware of family planning, yet there are certain religious groups everywhere, in every religion, that are against using family planning methods on religious grounds. What I feel is that India is a secular nation, yet Desh se badkar kuch nahi is a message which is yet to find place in every Indian household. And moving further, the main population momentum, the students of science, mass into velocity. So India has a very large, explaining this, what is population momentum? India has a very large young population, and young people will have children, which is a normal, natural way of life. In 2011, the median age of India was 24.9 years. And in 2022, the median age of India was 28.7 years. Therefore, India is regarded as a young country. Now, what is median age? Median age is the age at the midpoint of the population. Half of the population is older than the median age, and half of the population is younger than the median age. Now, some comparisons to show our global position, the global position of India. Where does my India stand in the world? In the median age is 28.7 years. In US, I'm just naming 3 countries for comparison. In US, the median age is 38.5 years. And in Japan, the median age is 48.6 years. The percentage of population under 20, in India, it is 34.8%. In US, it is the under 20, the percentage of population under 20 years, it is 24.8%. And in Japan, the percentage of population under 20 years is 16.3. And life expectancy in India is 67.3 years. Life expectancy in US is 76.4 years, and life expectancy in Japan is 84.6 years. So what I feel is that a lot of awareness is required regarding the health issues, about how we go about in future. Now, what are the positive impacts? Like now that we are already the most heavily populated nation. So first I'll discuss the positive impacts of growth and then how we should be going about with it and why it is putting a tremendous amount of responsibility on the shoulders of the youth, the young people. The population is on the in India is already one of the most heavily populated nations. So larger workforce of a populous nation can be trained in their corresponding skills and employed both in national and global fronts to increase productivity as well as bring economic growth. And for creating this workforce, investment in education is essential for empowering the young people. It is one of the major focuses that has to be there. The young children, the young people of India have to be transformed into a productive member of the workforce. The government is working towards it. The National Education Policy, Skill India Mission are some of the government policies targeted at empowering the youth. But just the government will not be able to do everything. The awareness should be there and the perseverance should be there that yes, I have to be transformed into a productive member, into an empowered person. That awareness is very important. Innovation and entrepreneurship. More people, more innovative ideas, leading to new business avenues, sized enterprises by way of easy loans, so that it aids in the creation of jobs and provides economic growth. Startup India, Stand Up India are all such programs to support the innovative youth. And we are coming across very good startups, and innovation is definitely there among the youth of today. Now, coming to the third positive aspect, increased demand. Increased population means increased demand for goods and services. Due to this, there is a possibility to lower the prices by companies and yet maintain their profit margins and thereby stimulating economic growth. Unfortunately, the lowering of prices is hitting hard grounds due to meeting the high profit demands. As a result, the rich are seeming to get richer and the poor poorer. Digitalization of India is trying to monitor this, but things will change only if patriotism surpasses individualism. Jobs are getting created due to the increased demand on infrastructure requirement, whether it is road construction, flyover construction, institutional setup, or governance of family planning, or developing residential areas or other social facilities. But the awareness to take only what we need and not to proceed to wastage has to be taken care of. Positive growth in terms of improving healthcare is also very much in demand. Integrated child development programs, universal immunization programs, and many more healthcare programs are circulated for health awareness. Everyone, each citizen of India should become aware of the general health. Today, definitely, improving health is in demand so that people are healthy, absenteeism and disability is reduced. Economic expansion by collection of more taxes by the heavily populated nation provides more money for the government programs, which should be oriented towards spending it on healthcare, technological advancements, environmental projects, etc. Now, coming to my conclusion. The truth is that the implementation of the positive impacts of population growth is a complicated one. It is not at all easy to implement the positive impact of population growth. It is a complicated task on the shoulders of young India. It is a compulsion for young India to try to bring to reality the positive impacts of population growth. As the impact of population growth by way of population momentum may lead to a catastrophe, as I have already discussed population momentum, it is already happening. And rational analysis and surveys that has been, and research that has been conducted on population momentum says that the population is bound, the momentum is bound to continue for 3 decades till it reaches a peak, and then a demographic transition may occur, bringing a sharp decline in population by 2100 to maybe 1.1 billion or even less. Hence, it becomes absolutely necessary to slow down the population momentum by delaying marriages, delaying first pregnancy, spacing between births, using contraceptives for family planning. Population growth will have positive impacts only if we plan it for a better future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. On behalf of everyone present here, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to you, Gunjan ma'am, for conducting such incredibly informative session that has heightened our awareness on crucial matters. Your expertise and dedication in delivering such valuable insight have left has left a marks on all of us. And I'm sure that after such an informative session, all of you must have questions. So please feel free to flood the chat boxes with your question and we'll be taking them respectively.
बहुत अच्छा गुंजन मैम.
Okay, thank you so much.
ये कहना चाहता था कि ये आबादी जो है देश की जरूरत के हिसाब से हम लोगों को मतलब ऊंचे लेवल से बीच के लेवल और फिर नीचे लेवल तक वो इंफॉर्मेशन आना चाहिए कि हमारे देश को कितने आबादी की जरूरत है. धीरे धीरे होते होते ऐसा हो जाता है कि जैसे जर्मनी में 2015 की बात जो है, जब रेफ्यूजी वाला प्रॉब्लम हुआ था, उस समय तक वहां पर डोमेस्टिक हेल्प, इंडस्ट्रियल वर्कर, ये सब इतनी ज्यादा कमी हो गई थी, लोग परेशान हो गए थे कि कहाँ से हम लोगों को मंगाए और लोग मिल नहीं रहे थे. और वैसे में जब सीरिया, इराक, यहाँ से रिफ्यूजीज जब गए वो ब्लैक सी पार करके, तो वहां पर हुआ कि एकदम ताबड़तोड़ लोग स्वागत करने लगे. औरतें बड़ा बड़ा बस में ब्रेड, जैकेट वगैरह सब लेकर के पहुंचती थी और लोगों को बस में भर करके ले आती थी और रखते थे. लेकिन आज के दिन में 8 साल के बाद भले दूसरी समस्या हो गई होगी, लेकिन पहले वहां एक आबादी बढ़ाने की प्यास तो हुई, तब ना ऐसा हुआ. तो हम लोगों को जो भी कदम उठाना है वो उस देश के की जो जरूरत है वो देखते ही, या तो हम अपने विकास की गति को कम करें या फिर मतलब दोनों एंड हमारे हाथ में है, लेकिन हम उस चीज को समझते नहीं है. और दूसरे तरफ है कि जहां जिस भी देश पे खतरे होते हैं काफी, जैसे अफगानिस्तान में सिविल वॉर टाइप की स्थिति रहती है, तो वहां पर है कि आबादी तेजी से बढ़ती चली जाती है. बच्चों के शादी की उम्र जो नॉर्मली डेवलप्ड कंट्री में पढ़े लिखे लोग 30-31 की उम्र में शादी करते हैं, वहाँ अर्ली एज में शादियां होने लगती है, क्योंकि स्वाभाविक है कि वो जो खतरे होते हैं. तो इस पर मैडम कुछ कहना चाहें तो इस पर एक्सपर्ट कमेंट सुभाष सर भी आप इस मुद्दे पर.
अच्छा, मैं अपना व्यू थोड़ा सा बोलना चाहूंगी कि हमारे जो मैंने स्टैटिस्टिक्स डिस्कस किया, हमारे देश की जो स्थिति है, इस पर हम ट्रेमेंडस बर्डन डाल दे रहे हैं अपनी यंगर जनरेशन पर. तो जो उनसे सीनियर, जो हमारे कॉलेज के बच्चे, उनसे सीनियर जनरेशन, we have also to shoulder the responsibilities equally. वो चाहे अपना हेल्थ केयर, जैसे मैंने लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी डिस्कस किया, तो हमें अपने में एक डिटर्मिनेशन लाना है दैट हमारे बच्चे आई एम विथ यू, ये हम लोगों को पुरजोर इनको हिम्मत देनी है और इनके साथ खड़े रहना है, क्योंकि कल आने वाला कल इनका ही है और इनको हमारी जरूरत होगी। तो इसलिए ये सीनियर जनरेशन को भी एक अलर्ट जाता है कि बाकी देशों में देखिए जब 85 है वहां का लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी, तो इंडिया में 67 क्यों है? तो ये 67 को चेंज होना होगा, इसको 85 होना ही होगा, बिकॉज हमारे बच्चों को हमारी जरूरत है। और है कि देश से बढ़कर कुछ नहीं, ये तो बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट मुद्दा है और ये मेरे लिए बहुत जरूरी है कि हमारे जो धार्मिक व्यूज चाहे जो कुछ भी हैं, उन सबसे बढ़ के सबसे पहले हमारे देश की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आती है। तो जब ये संकट हमारे देश पर है, जो प्रधानमंत्री जी अपने प्लान्स, उनका जब मैं ये इस वेबिनार के लिए जो मैं अपनी स्पीच की तैयारी कर रही थी, तो मैंने देखा कि मोदी जी इज गोइंग एट पार, लाइक यू नो ही इज हैंडलिंग एवरीथिंग वेरी वेल। उनके जो प्रोजेक्ट्स आ रहे हैं तो हमें उसे गति देना होगा। वो प्लान्स चल रहे हैं, पर हमें उसमें सक्रिय होकर के उसमें एक्टिविटी, योगदान तो हमारा ही रहेगा। ग्रास रूट पर तो आप और हम ही हैं, और ये पॉपुलेशन ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लोजन पर वो चल रहा है। इट इज ऑलरेडी मोमेंटम चल रहा है, मोमेंटम अचानक से रोका नहीं जा सकता है। वी आर ऑल साइंस स्टूडेंट्स, इतना तो जो साइंस स्टूडेंट नहीं भी हैं वो भी समझेंगे, मोमेंटम को अचानक नहीं रोका जा सकता है। तो उसको स्लो डाउन कर सकते हैं, अपने इंटेलेक्ट से उसको पॉजिटिव डायरेक्शन दे सकते हैं। और ये हमारा आने वाला फ्यूचर जो है वो बच्चे ही हैं, और इन बच्चों के साथ
मैडम।
थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, ma'am. Let's move to. Thank you so much, Ajay sir. Too. Let's move to our Q&A session. We have
Okay.
Sakshi. Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, how technology and social media can contribute for active participation of youth?
वैसे ही जैसे हम ये वेबिनार कंडक्ट करके आप लोग मुझे सुन पा रहे हैं, सोशल मीडिया में एक्टिव, ऑफ कोर्स सोशल मीडिया एक बहुत अच्छा सोर्स है जिससे कि हम अपना मैसेज लोगों को दे सकते हैं और अपने आइडियाज लोगों के साथ शेयर कर सकते हैं, उनके आइडियाज ले सकते हैं मार्गदर्शन के लिए। पॉजिटिव वे से अगर हम सोशल मीडिया को यूज करें तो वो एक बहुत ही एम्पावरिंग टूल है टेक्नोलॉजी ने जो हमें दिया है, बट वी हैव टू यूज इट इन अ बैलेंस्ड वे। We have to not let technology become our master. We have to handle the technology. उसका जो यूजफुलनेस है, यूटिलिटी है, उसमें ब्रेन हमारा हो, हम उसे यूज करें, ना कि वो हमें यूज करें।
A very true answer, ma'am. Thank you so much. I hope, Sakshi, your question is answered. Moving on, we have Madhu. Good afternoon, ma'am. Poverty and unemployment are the cause of population which stop India to be developed, to be in a developed country. How much is it true?
Repeat the question, please.
Yes, ma'am. Poverty and unemployment are the causes of growing population which stop India to be in the list of developed country. How much is it true?
Nothing stands in the way of intellect. Nothing stands, neither poverty nor unemployment. अगर आप में हुनर है तो वो जैसे झरना पत्थर को क्रॉस करके निकल जाता है, वो काबिलियत वो चीज है। तो मेरा मैसेज यंगस्टर्स के लिए यही होगी कि कोई भी चीज अगर आप में काबिलियत है तो लाइफ की कोई भी सिचुएशन आपको स्टॉप नहीं कर सकते, आपको आगे बढ़ना ही है। काबिलियत वो चीज है। So hone your capabilities to the best. Sharpen your skills and use your best of energies for everything.
Next question is from Sneha. I am very blessed that I got the opportunity to listen to you. I was an Oxfordian, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please tell how population growth impact healthcare system and access to healthcare services?
Population growth, because the demand increases. जब जनसंख्या जब बहुत बड़ी हो जाती है, तो अभी आप देखिए कि वर्ल्ड में पॉजिटिव काम करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं हम। हमारी जो पॉजिटिविटी वाला है वो वर्कफोर्स ऑटोमेटिकली थोड़ी सी लेस होती है। तो हम जो ये हेल्थ केयर तक हम पहुंचाना जो चाहते हैं, जो फैसिलिटीज हम पहुंचाना चाहते हैं, तो दैट इज एवरीथिंग इज द पावर इज इन द माइंड। अगर पॉजिटिव काम अगर हम करें तो देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम एट ऑल। अगर हर इंसान अपने अंदर में पॉजिटिविटी ला करके, अगर हम ये सोचे दिस कंट्री इज माइन, एंड हम अगर पॉजिटिव, अगर हम अपने इंडिविजुअल नीड से बढ़ करके अगर हम सर्विस ओरिएंटेड रहें, तो आई थिंक एवरीथिंग हैज अ सॉल्यूशन। As I said, there is nothing that can stop you. And the youth of India should become that unstoppable, positive youth. But, yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Pallav sir, please.
Yeah, Anamta, I'm really happy to hear Subhash sir, our senior alumnus, and being economist. Sir, I am Indian Economic Service Officer sitting in office, sir, looking after world's largest public work program, MG Narega scheme, sir. And this Sunday, I had a talk on our Honorable Prime Minister Dream Mission, that is the mission Amrit Sarovar. And I had visited all across different states to monitor the same. And day after tomorrow, we will have the presentation to Honorable Prime Minister office. So I'll just like to convey one of the query raised by Madhu about the development. No, there is no hindrance anywhere in our development. Madhu, just see, since Subhash sir is here, he must have seen the graph of our economy.
Correct.
Right from 10th Lagarde list developed nations to reaching the purchasing power parity as a third highest front. So and especially our, though we are the most populous nation, but hats off to our Honorable Prime Minister and other dignitaries also. Last week, Prime Minister wishes to visit Delhi University to on completion of the sanitary function ceremony. He didn't opt the car or his vehicle. He asked कि मैं metro से जाऊंगा, and metro में बच्चों लोगों से बातचीत करके गए हैं. So we have the positive impact on all of us that our youth is coming up. So let's come up with the thing that yes, we can. Our youth is very strong. And so it's really happy to see कि कल आप यूएस में किसी कॉन्फ्रेंस में आप हैं, next day he is coming here, he is inaugurating so many things. I'm not saying to parties per se, but a human being himself. Hats off to Dr. Ajay Srivastava sir कि 4 क्लासेस लेने के बाद भी 4 वेबिनार में जरूर वो शामिल रहेंगे. I was not aware whether it is through VC or not. I learned with the Dr. Gunjan ma'am in today morning itself कि Pallav, I'll be speaker there. Then I asked ma'am if it is through VC, I would like to check into, because every day is a learning day, every moment is a learning moment. So all the best, all listeners. अभी एक दो और speakers बचे हुए हैं. So we are not lagging behind. Yes, one problem is that yes, थोड़ा सा crunch है. 17.8% of total population is India, हमारा भारत माता बहन कर रही है. उसको किसी तरह से हमको dismantle करना है. Let's work together. We are working together कि let's go across. We have very less resources. Only 2.7 meager lands है हमारे पास, and 17.8% population को हम लोग handle कर रहे हैं. So we will have to come up. We are gearing up for next generation, and very soon I have trust in our youth that very soon will be #1 economy. Thank you.
पल्लव क्लास लेने के पहले 8 बजे से एग्जामिनेशन ड्यूटी भी था रूम नंबर 54 में।
सर आपको सैल्यूट करते हैं सर, ऑलवेज सर। मैं इवन संडे को भी मैं देखता हूँ कि संडे इज हम लोगों के लिए डे रहता है कि ऑल ऑफिसर्स नीड्स टू एटलीस्ट एंजॉय संडे, लेकिन मैं देखता हूँ कि सर 3-3 घंटे तक का आपका हर एक लेक्चर सीरीज में आई सॉ हैट्स ऑफ टू यू सर, थैंक यू थैंक यू
Definitely.
बहुत
Very
अच्छा
Thank you.
लगा पल्लव जी, आप हमारे बीच में हैं
सर।
इंडियन इकोनॉमिक सर्विस से।
सर।
बहुत ही अच्छा लगा आपके प्रेजेंस से। कमिंग टू दैट पॉइंट, हमारा जो पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ से हेल्थ में क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ रहा है पड़ेगा, देखिए आंकड़े कभी झूठ नहीं बोलते। आंकड़े सबसे जो है वो बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। आपने देखा बर्थ रेट कैसे गिरते जा रहे हैं, आपने देखा कृषि में कैसे वृद्धि होती जा रही है। आज 60 के दशक में हम जो भीख मांगते थे, PL90 PL30 उसके मामले गेहूं और कुछ कुछ आते थे, और आज इनडायरेक्टली डायरेक्टली यूरोपियन कंट्रीज और यूएसए बोल रहा है कि भारत को और अफ्रीका को सप्लाई करना चाहिए। ये स्थिति है। आप कोविड में देख लीजिए, सब कुछ नेगेटिव था, लेकिन हम नाबार्ड में हम जानते हैं हमारा कृषि स्टिल 3.3% का वृद्धि दर किया है कोविड के समय 1920, 21 और 21-22 में। और जो भी है आपका इन्फेंट मोर्टेलिटी रेट आप देख लीजिए, ये वो स्टेट सब्जेक्ट है। सभी राज्यों ने अपने अपने राज्य में हेल्थ के प्रति, कोई भी सरकार हो, बहुत ध्यान दिया है, बहुत ध्यान दिया है। मतलब लोग सापेक्षिक तौर से ज्यादा ध्यान दिया है। ये कहने की बात है कि हमारा हेल्थ का एक्सपेंडिचर 2% है, 3% है, लेकिन वट एवर द पॉलिटिकल रीजन, हेल्थ इज अ वेरी मेजर इशू, डायरेक्टली इनडायरेक्टली जो भी है। और आज इन्फेंट मोर्टेलिटी रेट 20 के आसपास है। आप देखिए पहले हम 100 के नीचे सोचते भी नहीं थे। इसलिए सब कोई भी सरकार हो, ये बहुत बढ़िया से काम कर रहा है हमारा कंपेयर।
बिल्कुल सर, चूंकि मैं हेमंत सेराफिन मेरे बहुत अच्छे मित्र भी हैं। एक्चुअली मैं ऑल इंडिया इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मेडिकल साइंस में 5 years I was admin sir, and I served in AIIMS research division also. Last month में we had interactive session with chief economic advisor of India when our prime minister were there in US. दुखद बात यह है डेफिनेटली सर, रिसर्च मोड में हम लोग हेल्थ सेक्टर पे ज्यादा नहीं हमारा बजट एलोकेशन होता है। एंड आई हैड गिवन वन स्मॉल सजेशन ड्यूरिंग माय टेन्योर, वी लॉस्ट 5 कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर ड्यू टू कैंसर सर। सब कुछ का हमारे पास में है, लेकिन कैंसर का कोई रिसर्च, फ्रूटफुल रिसर्च नहीं हुए हैं। आप ऑन्कोथेरेपी एंड ऑन्कोलॉजिस्ट लोग बहुत सारे वैक्सीनेशन यूज कर रहे हैं, कीमोथेरेपी, ऑन्कोथेरेपी एंड सो मेनी थेरेपी, बट in India, like situations, we are still orthodox country, sir. Not a small breast lump is going to talk and discuss with any lady by her husband or to her father. So we start public lecture series program and mass campaign. हम लोग सब लोगों को थैंक यू बोलते हैं फॉर आवर टीबी इरेडिकेशन, पोलियो इरेडिकेशन, बट कैंसर के लिए हमें जागरूक होना पड़ेगा। So working with AIIMS, I told our chief economic advisors, let's at least budget थोड़ा सा हेल्थ के, खास करके कैंसर में। आप एक बार कीमोथेरेपी का एक साइकिल करेंगे तो 5 लाख रुपीस आपको ज्यादा लग जाएगा। So we are not well off in that way, sir. So we hope that very soon will come up with some positive outcomes. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much to everyone. ये बात बिल्कुल एकदम सही है. That is one thing that I admire about every elder person, that your knowledge is something कि if you share it with us, then only your knowledge is complete. And with this, let's move forward with our Q&A session. Gunjan ma'am, we have some more questions from a very interactive public. We have Sneha to ask us that, we have Shruti to ask. Very good morning, ma'am. My question to you is, what are the impacts of population growth on employment opportunities and youth unemployment rates?
because of the huge population, unemployment is there, and there is a very pressing need to create jobs. Yeah, this is the fact that because and that is why Digital India project has come up. जैसे जब digitalization की बात हुई तो बहुतों ने कहा कि इंडिया के पास infrastructure नहीं है, banks digitalize कर दिए. Digitalization is one method to open avenues for the job market. आप इंडिया के पास इतनी पॉपुलेशन है कि जब हम डिजिटलाइज कर रहे हैं इंडिया को, चिल्ड्रन आर वर्किंग ग्लोबली, वर्क फ्रॉम होम चल रहा है. So this is one way we are trying to solve the problem of employment, that the youth is empowered, avenues हमारे खोल दिए हैं, global market is open. और अभी दिस इज द फैक्ट ऑफ टुडे कि बच्चे मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज में कर रहे हैं, वर्क फ्रॉम होम चल रहा है, एंड दे आर अर्निंग वेरी वेल. तो ये जो है इंडिया का बर्डन तो कम हो ही रहा है एम्प्लॉयमेंट के जरिए. और जैसा कि मैंने कहा कि अगर आप में काबिलियत है तो आप कभी भी पीछे नहीं रुकेंगे.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope, Shruti, your question is well answered. We have Janvi to ask. Good evening, ma'am. The question that arises in my mind is this: that how can we ensure that population policies and interventions respect human rights and promote social justice?
Just repeat your question once more.
Yes, ma'am. From Janvi, we have the question that arises in my mind is that how we can ensure that population policies and intervention respect human rights and promote social justice.
Population policies and human rights, yeah, these are two different things. Population policies and human rights, and as I said, awareness has to be there. कई बार होता है कि हम कुछ गलत होते देखते हैं and we prefer keeping quiet. ऐसे नहीं चलने वाला है. This has to change. This definitely has to change. जब human rights की बात आती है, आप everybody has the voice ना कि आज in one of my speech I had said that आज हमारे बच्चे confused हैं क्योंकि किताबों में हम कुछ और कहते हैं और करते हम कुछ और हैं. किताबों में हम कहते हैं कि ऐसी बातें करनी चाहिए and in practical life हम कुछ और ही करते हैं. तो इससे क्या हो रहा है कि जो younger generation है, it is getting confused. So we will have to stand by our word. ये दो अलग-अलग चीजें हैं. Population control policies and human rights, जो दो अलग-अलग चीजें हैं. And as I said, कि चूंकि India is already, हर एक इंसान को ये बातें समझ में आ रही हैं. Everybody is understanding what is going to be the impact of the huge population. अब हमारा क्या जाता है, हमें इस बारे में कुछ नहीं करना, ऐसे सोचने से नहीं चलेगा. As I said, that the country has to come before everything else. This is the spirit that has to be carried through, and there is no problem after this. अगर आप ऐसे सोच के साथ आप चलेंगे, तो there is no problem at all. यहाँ पे human rights की बात नहीं है. एक दूसरे को respect करना है, and we have to take decisions in favor of our country because this is our motherland. We are staying here.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Shruti, I hope your question, Janvi, I hope your question is answered. We have Tanishka to ask. Good evening, ma'am. India is a diverse country with so many communities living together. So how can communities-led initiative to solve the problem-related issues in our country?
We have one country and one law, one country. That is already coming up. So diversity की तो बात ही नहीं है. हम एक सूत्र से already जुड़े हुए हैं that we are all Indians. That is why I said that देश से बढ़ के कुछ नहीं. That is my culture, and I actually believe in that. It is not that I'm speaking verbally. I actually believe in that, and like all my students who have been my students, they already know that.
Very inspiring.
मैं इस पर कुछ बोलूं. इंडिया डाइवर्स कंट्री है, एग्रीड. स्टेट्स अलग हैं, स्टेट्स के अलग बहुत सारे ज्योग्राफिकल डाइवर्सिटी है, कल्चरल डाइवर्सिटीज है. लेकिन ये बात सही है कि सरकार इन सभी जगह काम नहीं कर सकती. लेकिन हमारे बहुत, एक तो आंगनबाड़ी कार्यक्रम में बहुत बढ़िया काम कर रहा है, अलग अलग राज्य में अलग अलग रूप में. फिर जो हमारा जो NRLM है, नेशनल रूरल एम्प्लॉयमेंट प्रोग्राम जो है वो भी बहुत बढ़िया काम कर रहा है और आजकल अलग मोड में काम कर रहा है, सोसाइटी मोड में या कॉर्पोरेट मोड में या पब्लिक प्राइवेट का मोड में काम कर रहा है। बहुत अच्छे रिजल्ट्स आ रहे हैं। और सबसे बड़ी बात जो NGOs हैं, तो NGOs का नाम सुनते हैं आपके होता है अरे ये तो सब घपले वाले हैं। नहीं, बहुत अच्छे अच्छे NGOs हैं हमारे देश में, उनके थ्रू जो सरकार और जो बाकी जो संस्थाएं हैं NGOs के साथ हाथ में हाथ मिला के काम कर रही है। जैसे हम नाबार्ड में हैं, नाबार्ड में हमारे पास NGOs को नापने के लिए, उनको परखने के लिए बहुत सारे पैरामीटर्स हैं और हर एक साल में मैं हमारे डोमेन में, हमारे वेबसाइट पे उनका लिस्ट निकालता हूं और बोलते हैं कि ये ब्लैक लिस्टेड है। उसी तरह आप बाकी जो संस्थाएं हैं वो भी NGOs को ब्लैक लिस्ट तैयार करते हैं, लेकिन बहुत अच्छे अच्छे NGOs हैं और आंगनबाड़ी हैं, ये जो भी मेडिकल फैसिलिटी है और जो भी ग्रास रूट तक पहुंचने वाले ये काम कर रहे हैं लोग। हम सोचते हैं उनको उनका आंसर मिल गया होगा।
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Truly. We have Ajay sir writing to us that in large population country, if the old age care homes are in place, then only we can expect a control in the population in near far future. Without this facility, kids are seen as the security of the sunset years. Gunjan ma'am, would you like to discuss? I apologize, ma'am, but your mic is off.
Yeah, Ajay sir, coming up of old age homes is a very nice proposal and a very up-to-date thinking. Like, you know, it is the need of the day. Because बच्चे जब काम करते हैं तो वेल फैसिलिटी, अच्छी फैसिलिटीज वाले ओल्ड एज होम में रहने से बुजुर्गों को भी कंपनी मिलती है। ये जो सीनियर जनरेशन के हैं, ये यंगस्टर्स ये अपना काम करते हैं, बट यस द बॉन्डिंग शुड बी देयर। ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि ओल्ड एज में पेरेंट्स को डाल करके बिल्कुल छोड़ दिया। नहीं, बच्चे अपना काम कर सकें एंड सीनियर्स जो है वो अपना एक कम्युनिटी लाइफ लीड करें और हम अपने स्तर से अपना सोशल वर्क करते चले जाएं। एक जो है ना, दोनों यंग जनरेशन और सीनियर जनरेशन के बीच एक ब्रिज बना रहे। मैं उस ओल्ड एज होम की कल्पना करती हूँ, एक सशक्त ओल्ड एज होम की।
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your inspiring words. And we have Madhu. She writes to us, to Subhash sir. Yes, Sony sir.
हमारी आवाज जा रही है?
जी।
मैं हिंदी में बोल सकता हूँ मैं?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
प्लीज।
मैं पटना बिहार से जुड़ा हुआ हूँ और मैम अंजना गुंजन मैम आपका मैं काफी देर से और सुभाष सर का मैंने देखा और सुना। नेटवर्क की समस्या हमारी तरफ थी तो कभी बाहर अंदर में हो रहा था। मुझे आज का सेशन मैम बहुत अच्छा लगा। आपसे जो बहुत बेहतर जानकारी मिला मुझे एक, क्योंकि इस विषय से रिलेटेड मुझे कोई जानकारी उतनी नहीं थी। मैं एक पत्रकार भले हूँ, मीडिया का छात्र हूँ, बट मैं इससे अवगत उतना नहीं था। मगर यहाँ जो आज मैंने सुना और जो जाना मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा मैम। और मैं अगर फीडबैक अपना नहीं देता ये बोलकर, वो फीडबैक फॉर्म तो मिलता तो एक अलग बात होती है, मगर अगर नहीं बोलता तो आप मुझे नहीं जान पाती। बस एक आभासी एक छोटे से कैमरे में कैद होकर के हम लोग रह जाते। तो मुझे अच्छा लगा मैम, आज का सेशन बड़ा ही बेहतर लगा और बहुत से व्यू आप लोगों के माध्यम से मिला जिसमें लिखने का भी मुझे अवसर मिला। तो इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैम। और सुभाष सर बिल्कुल आपका एक दो बार मैंने सुना भी है तो मैं कुछ भी नहीं कह सकता हूँ। धन्यवाद सर।
आपने कहाँ सुना भाई मुझे? ठीक है।
कोरोना काल के समय से लगातार कई जगह ऑनलाइन सेशन हुए हैं जिसमें हमें याद है कि मैं आपका सर एक बार मैं सुना हूँ और वो शायद झारखंड से एक कार्यक्रम हुआ था तो कॉलेज से ही, तो मैं उसमें मैंने सुना है।
ये करीम सिटी कॉलेज में मुझे बुलाया गया था। यस
जी सर जी।
थैंक यू सो मच।
आज पहली बार मैंने गुंजन मैम का भी मैंने सुना।
हाँ,
पहली बार मैंने सुना मैम और मुझे अच्छा लगा। मैं बहुत कुछ जाना, आपसे सीखा। आपने जमीनी बातें बताई हैं, बहुत सारी बातें जो जुड़ी किताब से। हर बातें तो मिल ही जाती है, मगर जो जमीनी बातें जो आपने जो बात व्यू रखा है वो बड़ा बेहतरीन मुझे लगा। धन्यवाद मैम।
Thank you, Sunil Kumar.
Thank you so much. We have Madhu. Subhash sir, this is for you. Yes, sir. Young population are and will be the most valuable asset of our nation. If it works toward the right direction for our nation, I agree. But I think poverty is the major problem, which also stop our youngest to be at their best abilities, as they lack resources due to poverty.
क्वेश्चन क्या है, उनका सवाल क्या है, वो तो अपना विचार प्रकट किया उन्होंने।
Yes, sir. I think he wants you to please comment on his views on this.
Yeah, I agree with him. क्योंकि पॉवर्टी अभी भी हमारे भारत में काफी गंभीर रूप में है। मैं एग्जैक्टली नहीं बता सकता कि पॉवर्टी लाइन के नीचे कितने लोग हैं, लेकिन अभी पहले जो पॉवर्टी लाइन का जो डेफिनेशन था उससे काफी परिवर्तन आया पॉवर्टी लाइन में। अभी पहले सिर्फ कंजम्पशन बास्केट पर हम लोग ध्यान देते थे, लेकिन अभी मल्टीपल पॉवर्टी है लाइन को हमने डिफाइन किया है। यस, एम्प्लॉयमेंट का जो डेफिनेशन है, अगर आप लोग एम्प्लॉयमेंट बात करते हैं, लेकिन एम्प्लॉयमेंट में इतने सारे क्लासिफिकेशन है कि आपको जान के आश्चर्य होगा। जो हमारे जो NSSO है, जब एम्प्लॉयमेंट का जब सर्वे करता है तो वो सवाल करता है कि पिछले आप एक हफ्ते में कितना दिन काम किए हैं, पिछले एक महीना में कितना काम किए हैं, पिछले 6 महीना में आप कितना काम किए हैं, और वो 6 महीना में वो एक दिन में काम कर लिया तो उसको एम्प्लॉयड बोलते हैं। लेकिन ये कितना गलत डेफिनेशन है, क्योंकि क्वालिटी ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट में अभी तक हमारे पास कोई भी मापदंड नहीं है। और जैसे मैंने बताया कि डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड का मतलब है कि यूथ का प्रोपोर्शन बढ़ेगा और बढ़ रहा है, तो उनके लिए एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज की बहुत जरूरत है। उसके लिए हमारे कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन, सरकार की जितने भी पॉलिसी है कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कैपिटल गुड्स बने, हम ज़्यादा, वो बहुत ज़रूरी है और ये लॉन्ग टर्म है, ये इतना जल्दी नहीं सॉल्व होने वाला। ठीक है, तो अगर हम मनरेगा के देखेंगे तो जरूर बहुत ही बढ़िया काम है, लेकिन जो स्ट्रक्चरल अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट है, मतलब जो सैलरीड क्लास है या सेमी सैलरीड क्लास है, या जो जितने उद्योग धंधे बढ़ रहे हैं उनसे जो उनकी रिकरिंग एम्प्लॉयमेंट हो रही है, उसमें तो धीरे धीरे वृद्धि हो ही रही है।
यहाँ पर मैं कहना चाहूंगी कि एक मंथन का विषय तो है ही, पॉवर्टी की वजह से पॉपुलेशन है या पॉपुलेशन की वजह से पॉवर्टी, ये एक मंथन का विषय बिल्कुल है। क्योंकि जो सुभाष जी ने पहले बताया कि जो गरीब होते हैं, पहले था एक नोशन की धनी के ज्यादा बच्चे होंगे, और जो गरीब है वो सोचता है कि हमें काम करने वाले 2 हाथ और मिल जाएंगे। तो ये जो ओवर पॉपुलेशन है, या ये पॉवर्टी से उत्पन्न हो रहा है या फिर ओवर पॉपुलेशन की वजह से पॉवर्टी है।
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much, sir, also. The session has been very interactive, and thank you so much for the participants. Now, let's move forward with our session, as I would love to call Nancy.
I just wanted to mention that without further delay, I think we should move on to the next lecture, because I think our next speaker is eagerly waiting, and also we should try to listen to her as soon as possible, and then have an interactive session that we had earlier. So let's invite the next speaker.
Of course, sir. Thank you so much. Nancy, can you please introduce our speaker for the day?
Am I visible and audible to everyone?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anamta. A very good evening to everyone present here. I am Nancy, leader NSS Patna Women's College, Patna. It's an honor and pleasure to introduce Dr. Amrita Ma'am, our guest speaker for today's webinar on World Population Day. jointly organized by St. Xavier's College, Ranchi, and Patna Women's College, Patna. Dr. Amrita Ma'am is working as an assistant professor in the Department of Physics, Patna Women's College, Patna. Ma'am has a strong academic background in the field of physics. She did her BSc as well as MSc from Ranchi University, Ranchi, Jharkhand, where she taught BSc and was awarded as the gold medalist in her master's degree program. She was also the overall best master's degree holder in general courses. She further went on to complete her PhD from Ranchi University, where she majored in theoretical physics. Ma'am has various feathers attached to her cap. She has supervised 13 various projects conducted under UGC and STAR scheme by the DBT. She has also published 13 research articles in different research journals and magazines. However, Amrita Ma'am's ambitions extended beyond personal growth. Possessed by her undaunted spirit to achieve and creating this world better place, she is also working as the NSS program officer in the college. So, on behalf of one and all, I welcome Dr. Amrita Ma'am for today's session, whose incredible journey will inspire us and help us extend our knowledge through her valuable words. Over to you, Ma'am.
Thank you so much, Nancy. The patron for the national webinar, Father Dr. Nabor Lakra, Principal, St. Xavier's College, Ranchi. Co-patron, Dr. Ajay Kumar Srivastav, sir. Chief guest, Mr. Subhash Serafi. Chairman, Dr. Aruna Vadatta. And my co-speaker, Mrs. Gunjan Kindu. And all the group of this enthusiastic and dynamic students from different departments of St. Xavier's College as well as Patna Women's College. A very good evening to everyone present here. I'm an alumna of St. Xavier's College, and just being in front of Ajay Srivastav sir and Subhash Serafim sir, so many super seniors are here with me. And also Pallav sir is also so much senior to me. And I just completed around 5.5 years here in Patna University, and everyone in the physics department of St. Xavier's College, they are connected to me and they know that Amrita is there in Patna. And on this occasion of World Population Day, I shall be discussing a few important topics, that what are the impacts of population growth, and what can be the different steps which we can take for a sustainable development. So let me first share my screen. So please confirm me, is the screen visible to you all?
Yes, ma'am, the screen is visible.
Okay, thank you so much. So as we all know that so much of discussion has been going on from the last two speakers, reputed speakers of their specialized field. I actually belong to a different field, and I know just equation solving and derivation. Okay, that is according to my department. And today, this topic, I shall be sharing some information that I gathered from the last week when I was invited for being a speaker to this event. Okay, so there can be the positive as well as negative aspects of population growth, because it can be taken as an asset also. Population is not always a thing which is negative and which is decreasing the resources, we are having problem. There can be some positive outlooks also, that population can be an asset for any country also. So beginning with a quote, for this World Population Day slogan for 2023 by the Health Department, Government of Bihar, that आज़ादी के अमृत महोत्सव में हम ले ये संकल्प, परिवार नियोजन को बनाएंगे खुशियों का विकल्प. Okay, so being a NSS program officer, what I got to learn, I am also still feel myself as a student and shall be, because there is no limit to learning. In every different field, there is much to learn and much to discover further. So what I got to learn in this my tenure as NSS program officer, that there is much expectation from the youth. Okay, we know that there is a, I don't remember the percentage, but there is a huge percentage of youth in our country as well as in the world, and these have an important role to play in the future of any country. And the purpose of these kind of webinars and programs conducted online as well as offline on various platforms, the purpose is to make the students aware and to bring out the complete personality development for them, and to let them achieve whatever they deserve, to motivate them further to work in their specialized fields. So this is just the outline of my presentation. What is the significance? What is the impact? I shall be explaining a little, because much has been said on this topic. That's what are the insights and trends of population growth, and what can be the different approaches to address the population growth, and how can we achieve a sustainable population growth. In this current era, we talk so much of this, you can say, sustainable development. So how to sustain in this different era? We know that there is so much of population. There are so many environmental factors also. Sometimes there comes some pandemic like COVID. So there are so many things happening. It is not so much stagnancy now, and there are so many things happening quite in the world, in research also, in different fields. And how we have to do, we have to be at par with the ongoing changes all across the world, and we have to sustain. We have to make the world a better place to live in. So beginning with, this is just a video which one of my students has prepared on this World Population Day, and let me share this to you. That was a short video prepared by Shambhavi Sri, a second year student of our college. Now, moving, as she explained, there has been a tremendous increase in global population, and there has been, it is putting much impact on the resources, available resources, and education facilities, healthcare facilities. So it has, we can say it has much widespread different aspects of impact on different issues related to mankind. There are several causes that when there is urbanization and people, what they try to do, there is much population in cities as well as compared to the rural regions, because they get more source of income and they want to be in a good place. They want to change their lifestyle, and that's the reason urbanization is also one important factor regarding this population growth. And there's improved healthcare, because we know that, as sir has also explained, that there is a mortality rate has reduced so much, and so there is average life expectancy of any individual has also increased. High fertility rates is also one important issue, and migration. Migration is, it also accounts for a big percentage of population growth in several regions which are very densely populated, because for seeking the economic opportunities and for going along with family like that. And we can just imagine, we know that the Indians, you must be knowing that the foreign countries, all the different IT sectors and different sectors, the Indian brain they use in many of the cases. And that is the thing that so many Indians, they migrate to different countries. They live abroad for having a better lifestyle for them, and also for seeking good opportunities for their improvement. But still, in our country, there is we can say it is on the higher side of population growth. Although there is so much of brain drain, you must be knowing, and also there are so many persons who are migrating to different countries. This is just pictures taken from the net that what are the historical trends. There are, as sir has also explained this curve in very detail, that initially it was not increasing much, but after this 2000 or 1919, the beginning of 20th century, the population is increasing so much. And in the developing countries, we are on a rise. Whereas in the developed countries, it is showing not so much rise in the population growth. And in China, we know that the government has also posed one-child policy and other family planning initiatives. Now they have removed this, because now the population of China is under control, and I think we are in the top position now. So this is just the population statistics, that if we are at around 8 billion at this time, by 2050, it will be around 9.7, or we can say 10 billion or so, like that. And some of the regions, they are be having the largest population growth. That means we can relate this population growth somewhat to the education and the level of the persons who are staying there. That means the majority of population, if they are educated, well informed, they know what can be the consequences of higher population, and they don't know about family planning. So this lack of awareness in those underdeveloped or developing nations, it is contributing the most to the population growth, and it poses a much impact on the economy, that population growth can lead to a large workforce. And this can be taken as a positive aspect, that higher the population increase, larger will be the human resources for different kinds of jobs, but it is also limited to the number of jobs which the government can provide. Because there, of course, we know that there is limitations regarding the government vacancies and all. And there is increased demand. Whenever there is a increase in population, there will be requirement of more resources regarding healthcare, resources regarding education, living, food, everything. And regarding this, we can say that there can be a depletion in the resources, and that we can see also that earlier water, what we can say that water these days, it is also a precious commodity. Earlier we used to think that okay, water can be spilled off and it is available everywhere, but in many of the cities in India also we can see that there is a scarcity of water developing. And in urbanization also, as the cities grow, the infrastructure should be expanded. That means much of the infrastructure allotted by the government, whether it can be state government or central government, it should be at par with the demand. Otherwise, the economy cannot be developing as it should be. And environmental impact. So if the population goes on increasing, what can be the effect on environment? Because it is a thing which is related to different sections. So there can be climate change. We say that so many vehicles are there. So many, if the population is more, there will be more vehicles, there will be more air pollution. Like that, different population is increasing and pollution, it leads to climate change and biodiversity loss. We must be knowing that there are so many species which are going extinct these days. And the resource depletion. Okay, the resource depletion in this case, it is regarding to the natural habitat of the different biodiversity. And there can be different strategies for managing this population growth. That's family planning. The education is the key to this population growth, because if the woman, if the underprivileged sections of the society, if the women are, especially belonging to the poverty class, they become educated, they know what can be the effect of this population growth, and they can help to reduce the fertility rate. Family planning, there are so many schemes coming up from the government, and as a part of national service scheme, we also conduct so many awareness campaigns and activities. We go to slum and we present skits related to family planning and different schemes, government schemes actually. And these are actually conducted at our level in the form of this Sehat Kendra. It is actually an initiative of Bihar State AIDS Control Society and the State Health Society Government of Bihar. There can be migration policies, that there should be a limit of migration from one place to another within the country also, and it can be from outside. There is so many restrictions for visa processing and migration. But in India, what we can say that we are able to move anywhere we want to within the country. And conservation and promoting the natural areas and sustainable use of resources, it can help if we conserve for the next generation, then only it would be available, all the natural resources which we use, that will be available for the next generation. These are just the conclusions of this first section. That there can be different solutions that I mentioned, that what can be the different steps regarding reducing the population growth. There can be global effort also from government and international organization. And one thing is that the youth has a major role to play in this very important issue of population growth in order to have a sustainable future for all of us. Next is this insight into the patterns and trends of population worldwide. That is more or less related to the curve, population curve. And one important fact is that Asia is the most populous region, accounting for 60% of the world's population. From the current projections, it will be 10.9 billion by the year 2100. This is the repetition of that, I think. High fertility rates. So I'm skipping this one. And let me talk about the what are minutes. So you can see that in Asia it is 2018 it is 4.5, and then 2050 it will be 5.3. Will be some places like in Americas there is much restriction. It is projected up to be 1.2 billion or so, and in Oceania and Africa there will be much rise. And Africa is expected to see the largest increase in population in the coming years. And the impact are the same, that is, there can be environmental degradation and migration and increase in demand. So these are the important things which I've discussed till now, that it is a very important issue that should be taken up by not only by the government, but the common person also, because it is the responsibility of each and everyone to control this population, and so that we will have a sustainable future. And there can be their comprehensive strategies, and there should be management of population growth strategies which are put forward by the government agencies. And also there should be information, because we have so many awareness drives conducted by the state government also, and sometimes we get information from the central government Ministry of Youth that we have to conduct these kind of awareness activities. Like today also we have conducted one human chain, and with all the placards and all that, there should be awareness regarding what are the policies, what are the strategies government is taking, and what is one's responsibility. Okay, this. This is just similar to this. Okay. Now coming to the important part, that how we can have a sustainable future, what can be the solution. So first of all, we know that there are two kinds of sources of energy. It can be conventional or non-conventional, and we must be. We know that nowadays the solar panels and of renewable energy we should increase so as to save the resources for future also, and this makes our environment pollution free also. And so there's renewable energy like wind and solar power. It is not in, we can say that it is used these days, but it should be increased in order to sustain this overgrowing population. There can be sustainable cities. Sustainable cities, what does it mean? It mean that we can have wastage and the resources which are available, and how to and reduce the wastage of any kind of resources. the organic agriculture. This the botany and the zoology students this must be knowing that nowadays organic farming is coming up. That there are different ways in which conventional agriculture can be replaced by organic agriculture methods for a sustainable food system, because as the population is growing, food is also required. Food is required, resources are required, education, and the land is also required for the future. And smart homes. So smart homes are, this is also one step which can be taken up, that it can have the efficient use of energy and energy saving technologies. There are several devices coming up in these days also, which are we can say in the AC we are having that inverter AC. So those are having different modes of operation such that energy can be saved depending upon the demand. And there can be sensors we are using in most of the devices, that if there is no requirement, we should shut it down. And this is the need of the tech. It is the by the technological development we can switch over to these, that we can have the smart homes, and these smart homes can constitute a sustainable city. This is also similar one, that what can be the impact of population growth on development. There is a scarcity of food as well as water, and this urbanization, it refers to the increase in, or rather the movement of population from the rural areas towards the urban cities. And we talk about this, what can be the impact of population growth on the natural resources. There can be climate change. We can say that now greenhouse effect is increasing. There is holes in ozone. So there are so many climate changes also occurring because of this increase in population. Actually, these are interlinked to one another. And the deforestation, there is a need of urbanization. So what we do, the deforestation start coming up, and so many smart cities and cities are built up. So deforestation or the reduction of forests, this is also taking a world to a wrong side, we can say. And water scarcity, the fresh water, it is decreasing rapidly in many of the regions. And soil degradation, because if there is deforestation, there can be soil erosion, and the quality of soil will degrade. And what can be the challenges? There can be different solutions: smart homes, sustainable cities, renewable energy, like that. And there can be, first is what can be the cost, how much funding we can get. This also poses the need of several startups. Nowadays, many of the youth that is coming up for different startups based on their innovative ideas to work in different sections in order to serve the society. Because as a student, as a responsible youth, it's not just to get a degree done and then sit or go for higher education and like that. And making the best use of education is to create an environment and do something good for the society also. There is some social responsibility for everyone to do. Everyone has a role to play. And there is a resistance to change, because we all know that whenever we are having any plan or anything going on, there is a resistance to change in starting from a household to any office, any government section, everywhere. Okay, this resistance to change, or the acceptance of new policies and new innovations, that is also a challenge. And there are some social factors which can affect this implementation. So regarding this, what can be the different methods in order to have a sustainable future, irrespective of the ongoing population growth? First and foremost, that I told you earlier also, that it is education and awareness. What are the adverse effects? If everyone knows what, if the literacy rate, we must be knowing that if the literacy rate is higher, then the population in that particular state in our country also, we can say that it is less. And if the education or the literacy rate is less, then there is so much increase in population, and there is a need for collective action. That is not only the government sections or the public sectors undertakings, they should take action. There is a responsibility or a role of everyone to play. And there are methods of collaboration also. There are so many NGOs also working in these awareness activities, and several other things like Population Foundation of India and PSI. So these are the various NGOs also coming up for this global cause. What can be the innovative approaches addressing this situation? This is just the same slide. I think this is also the same. Okay. So coming to this innovative approaches to healthcare. So now this advancement in 3D printing, these are allowing the development of replacement organs. We know that now the organ transplant is so common. In this healthcare, what we know that during the COVID time also, there were several robots, those were developed for providing facilities inside the hospitals. And so in many of the different places, the robots can be used to increase the precision of medical procedures and reducing errors and recovery time. So these can be used for as a robotic surgery. And this AI medical diagnosis. Nowadays, we talk of artificial intelligence. Although this artificial intelligence, it is we can say the Internet of Things, and several sensors. Based on sensors, we are having a artificial intelligence, and several devices can be made. This is a vast field which involves this engineering sciences as well as computer sciences, making how to create a artificial intelligence device based on that. And for we can have medical diagnosis working on AI algorithms also. So it can help the doctors to make accurate diagnosis and deciding on treatment options. So these are just the approaches which can help in the reducing the this population growth. And then coming up to the next subtopic, that is the sustainable food production and agriculture. In whenever there is a population growth, we have to work on several sections so that to be at par with the ongoing thing. So in regenerative agriculture, using soil-based farming practices to reduce soil erosion, vertical farming in order to harness the in lesser quantity of land if we want to grow the crops. Hydroponics, you must be knowing about that. It is a method in which there is a water pot and some liquids. They are put inside and they can be grown. And using this, we can create a vertical garden also. And reducing food waste. That food should not be wasted at any cost. And if there is excess, there should be provision of feeding those people who really need it. Because in the current scenario of our country, there is, we can say, there are still so many weaker sections of the society, and there are so much poverty in various regions that they are having scarcity of food, water, everything, clothes and all. So next is how can we do this? Because urbanization also contributes to population growth. There can be a planning and development for regarding this in order to cater to this issue. There can be smart transportation, that clean energy. What are the clean energy methods? And to reduce this pollution and carbon emission, and resilient infrastructure. What kind of infrastructure we can build up for reducing the risk of this floods in the these days there is in some places there is a scarcity of water, no rainfall. In other places, 3 and 4 states of the North India, they are undergoing flood situation, and so many problems coming up because of that. And urban agriculture, creating communal garden and spaces for residents and growing fresh produce of the food which is required. Because in it's not necessary that the urban cities there is no room for agriculture. The organic farming, it can be done at any place. Okay, these are the emerging technologies. Like I said, that renewable energy we should concentrate on in reducing the use of conventional sources of energy, fossil fuels, coal, and we should rely more on the solar energy, harnessing the solar energy and the wind energy and so on. And the blockchain technology, this is also a latest one. You must be knowing about this, that under this blockchain technology, there is a term called for financial transactions, that we so much of this was coming up from the last year about cryptocurrency and blockchain. So this is a new way of investment and financial transactions. Next is the drones, the cost-effective approach for delivering goods and conducting surveys and monitoring wildlife, and these can be the use of innovation. And next is the collaboration and partnership for impact. There can be possibility of the government and private sector collaborators, which can work towards implementing the uh, newer ways of agriculture, such as vertical farming and organic farming, and public-private partnership. There can be city and private sector collaborations for urban development projects, so that there is we can say that in the cities that we we are living in, there we can say that there's lesser of greenery. As we move to the rural areas, there is much greenery, there is good environment, less pollution. But as we move to the urban sections or the cities, we can say that it is just a concrete jungle that we call. So there should be a balance between the two. And international partnerships, this is also important, that local NGOs and international organizations which can which can donate some funds for implementing the innovative technologies for the sustainable future. Okay, so another video coming up based on this balanced and sustainable population growth. And this I have put, she is one of my student, Akansha. She has prepared this video. Let's have a look. Now, moving further, that what can be the role of academia in achieving a balanced and sustainable population growth? So first is the research. We can carry out research for identifying what can be the challenges associated with this population growth and how we can have, what can be the solutions. The solution must come up out of research and survey in different fields. Education, academia can educate individuals on the importance of achieving a balanced and sustainable population growth and the actions they can take individually and as a community. The third one is the innovation. Is, academics, we can say that it plays an important role in shaping the future of the country, because we are, as educators, we get young minds, and those we nurture them throughout the years, and then they come up with different possibilities. They go to different fields, they serve in different fields. So there is need of innovation, and the academics, this can develop new technologies and strategies to address population growth challenges. I have discussed a few which I got to. And next is what can be the role of institutions in achieving this sustainable population growth? What we can do, the institutions can invest in sustainable infrastructure like public transportation. Like there are so many schemes coming in different cities and different states also in order to cut short the number of vehicles coming in, like in order to enhance this public transportation and energy, that means the renewable sources, because this solar energy, it is a very good option in order to in order to cater to the needs of this overgrowing population and to mitigate, to reduce the impact of this population growth. And this in agriculture, it also requires so many different changes like agrofarming, agroforestry, organic farming, and ways to reduce the soil erosion, step farming, like that, in order to ensure food security. That means first is this agriculture, it will provide food for the population, and this infrastructure, it will provide the resources, and this energy that provides us the electricity and all the different devices we are used to. Those will work only when we have sufficient amount of electricity. So these are just the important needs. The role of policy makers in achieving the balanced and sustainable population growth. That's I've told earlier, also discussed about this, that there can be collaboration between the state governments, the public sector organizations, as well as with the academic institutions, in order to promote the policies and in order to create awareness. There should be a regulation. Policymakers can develop and enforce the regulations to ensure this population growth is manageable. And third is the resource allocation, that proper resources should be allocated to research and for innovation, for startups. And there are several opportunities for collaborative efforts. That in research, we always talk about collaboration, because this, in the current need of this era, everyone has to be work in interdisciplinary. Okay, and in interdisciplinary nature of work, there is much room for collaborative research in order to have this potential solutions, to come up with some solutions for achieving a sustainable population growth. And this is all about this infrastructure that what the policymakers, what the government can do. There are so many schemes coming up, and so much the government is also taking this up seriously. So what is the what I came up that the academics, the policymakers, the government, the NGOs, everyone has to collaborate and work in this regard in order to have a better future and have in order to sustain this ongoing growth. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an amazing presentation. I would request all the participants to please ask the questions if you have any. Sakshi, please move forward and ask your question.
Yes, thank you, Ananta. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, I have questions regarding artificial intelligence. We know that if singularity comes, there is a huge threat to human civilization. Even great scientists Elon Musk and Stephen Hawking confirm that we have a threat with artificial intelligence. So, can we assume that if singularity comes, then our civilization can wipe out?
Actually, the technology is for our improvement. Okay, whatever are the different research is going on, so many robotic equipments are coming up, the AI is coming in. Okay, so these are very, very beneficial for us, but it should not rule us. We should not be, nowadays we can say that we are much dependent on our mobile phone also. Okay, that is also one new device, and not rather much new, but it is such like that now we don't need to remember any number or anything. Whatever we like to note, we just put a note on our mobile. So this should not be done. Everything has a pros and cons are for everything. So this AI is good. This artificial intelligence, it is having widespread use, and different sections it is covering for the benefit of the society. Okay, and it will help us in many of the different fields. But we should not take it for granted, and we should not be we can say we should not be the servants of this. There should be a proper balance. Okay, so they should know, if they rule us, then the civilization might be in a threat, because nowadays also in your youth scenario, what we see that so many persons are sitting, they are using their mobile phone, but they are not talking to each other. This is a common practice even at our homes, everywhere we go. Okay, so this is also what this is like that we cannot survive without our mobile phone or without seeing whatever is the content or whatever is that for half an hour also. So that should not be everything good. Every new technology, it is for our benefit. Okay, and it is helping us out. Because of this online platform, we are connected from so many different places. Pallav sir from Delhi, Shivas sir must be from different place. Some are from Ranchi, from different places. Everyone is connected. So of course it is for the benefit, but we should not be the servant of this. If we make ourselves completely dependent on this, then it might create a problem. It will rule us. The robot will rule us in the future, might rule us. Okay, Sakshi.
Okay, ma'am, I have another question.
Yes.
What is a bigger problem, overpopulation or overuse of any resource? What is a bigger problem?
What I think that the resources that are on a decreasing trend. Okay, that earlier our parents, our elder generation, they used to tell, okay, whenever we walk to this outer places, there was not so much crowd. Okay, so resources are going to a decline. and population is going on a high. So this is just one thing. Both are responsible for this population. Okay, population is increasing and resources are depleting. So we must work in both the things, both the issues. Okay, that urbanization and this population control, it should be controlled. There are several schemes. There should be awareness. Okay, and this awareness, when you are connected, when you know, there should be there is a need to make the different sections to your community. Okay, if you are a student, if you are a member of this club, you got to enrich yourself through so many things through this. I'm just taking an example. Okay, then it is your social responsibility to take the keynotes and discuss it with the other sections, to your family, your friends, and others, so that there is a proper awareness regarding this.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a wonderful session with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Sakshi. I hope your question is well answered. And ma'am, we have Shruti to ask you that. Good evening, ma'am. I want to ask that how can technology and innovation help address population-related changes such as food security or healthcare delivery?
That I've shown in the slides also, that in food related, there can be newer methods of agriculture, modern methods of agriculture that can be used, like that organic farming and vertical farming, hydroponics. So there are different methods that are possible regarding catering to the increased need of food. Okay, and for regarding that healthcare also, she is asking for healthcare facilities. What we can say that there can be possibilities of different government to come up for increasing the healthcare facilities. That's what I can say.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And we have another question from Tanishka. Good evening, ma'am. If population management is such a grave issue, then why is it not included as one of the sustainable development goals?
That's why it is not included in?
Why is it not included as one of the sustainable development goals?
Okay, sustainable development goals. Because actually it is it is related to several different sections. Okay, the population, if it is increasing, it is increasing due to migration, due to urbanization, several other issues. It is related to lack of resources also. So it is interlinked to several other issues of common interest. And of course, if I don't know much about what are the sustainable development goals of this year or so, because the government used to share it every year, what is the theme and what are the different goals we have to achieve. There are different goals that will cater to the sustainable development in the future.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a question of my own that you explained such briefly. Thank you so much for that. But how can we try to raise awareness and foster a sense of responsibilities in the individual themselves as the youngsters and the elder generation, how it is very important to sustain the population growth? Because according to me, it is quite a stigmatized concept also.
Yes, so of course it is a kind of stigma. And actually, in being a part of national service scheme, I also got to know much. I have to got to gather much knowledge regarding these, that what are the methods of contraception, what are the different schemes from the government. Okay, so in that there is a specialized unit at our center, our college, that is known as Sehat Kendra, and it is related to all these issues regarding youth health, sexual and reproductive health, and what is known as consent, what are the different issues related to family planning, how it can be achieved, and what is the scenario in Bihar, how it can be improved. So there are different awareness activities conducted under that platform. And as a youth, you can gather information from the internet also. Okay, so much is coming up nowadays on Twitter. Twitter, this is a social account, but there's a social platform, but it can be used in various issues, because all the government related facts and all the, I use it for the research related. Okay, so different methods and different knowledge you can gather from that also, and there are so many sites available from which we can gather knowledge, and we can have such a, like this webinar you are hosting, similar kind of webinars can be related to that. What are the youth related mental health issues? Mental health is also a big concern regarding youth. So mental health issues and family planning and early marriage, like that, impact of early marriage. So these are some important issues in which the youth has to take responsibility and they have to act, because nowadays those are educated, they can take decision of their own. Okay, if I am having my conscience, the sense of right and wrong, I am able to first and foremost thing is to be you can say that to be stand as an individual and to be independent. If you are independent, you can make your own decisions, and you can create awareness in and around you also. First, you keep yourself aware, and then it has to help others. That is the need of society.
Thank you so much, ma'am. If anybody have any question, you can raise hands or write in the chat box. Though I would say that, ma'am, you explained so perfectly that all our question went answered as your presentation began. If anyone have any questions,
I'm not so much good in this actually. I'm good in physics.
No,
I'm
your
still very-
NSS service itself will have a larger impact, ma'am. And in this era of public lecture series program and awareness campaign, every day is a learning day. That's what
Yes.
you are saying, and you
Yes,
said.
yes.
And let's talk. And I'll just add whatever you are teaching about health education, ma'am. Please start adding. मैंने तो मेरा एक publication है कि I had written and I have given to the government of India as suggestion. Why not you start a chapter of a cancer awareness program right from science class of 10th class. मैं देखा हूँ कि even ex prime ministers की granddaughter थी. Sorry to say, my ex boss wife जो अभी secretary to government of India है, when I was serving with the AIMS, उनकी wife was ex prime minister's granddaughter and she suffered due to breast cancer 4th stage. And why can't we come out for regular mammography checkup and all those things? So I had suggested, please add at least one chapter. हम लोग orthodox country है, ma'am. I'm proud to see that yes, orthodox हैं, लेकिन कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हम लोग disclose नहीं कर पाते हैं. I lost my own sister due to cancer. She was quite young. Just because of 4th stage जब पता चला कि liver metastasis हो चुका है. So why not start a campaign, and being led by you, please think on this front, ma'am, and we'll have very good impact. Let's start working on a cancer awareness, cervix cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer, rectum cancer. These are the things we cannot disclose to anyone in my family and anyone's family. So please think on this, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks for your excellent lecture. Though you are from physics के हैं, लेकिन आपने जो इतने दिनों देर तक आपने बताया, I can understand that you must have prepared, your team must have prepared well to to present you a excellent PPT, ma'am. So
Thank you.
keep
Thank you so
rising.
much,
All
sir.
the best
Thank
for
you so
all
much
your
for pointing this out. And
yeah.
that the sir, Pallav sir has pointed out such an important issue because in the world in which we are living now, we are addicted of using mobile phones and all the digital devices, and we are all having a Wi-Fi at our house with such a good speed. And these all are an important and major factor regarding cancer. Increase in cancer patients, it is measured, and it plays an important role. This radiation effects, this when we are having a center of this electromagnetic radiation at our homes so much near to us, that is posing so much problem to our youth generation and everyone. Okay, so some are lifestyle disorders. These also come under lifestyle disorders: excess use of phone, and this being in a Wi-Fi environment every time, 24 hours. That is also one major important contributing factor to increase in cancer. And these days it is so much common. I think a person from everyone's family, they are suffering from cancer or must have some issues regarding this. So it is also very important factor that you pointed out. I will surely put this one in the upcoming meeting that I have to attend in the state government of Bihar. Next week it is. So I shall put this because they are working basically on HIV, AIDS, and non-communicable diseases, and blood donation, drug abuse. Okay, these are the 5, or mental health. These are the 5 or 6 core areas on which they are working. So I will try to add this up. Thank you so much for this suggestion.
Thank you so much again, Amrita ma'am. From everyone's side, I would like to extend our utmost gratitude to you for delivering such a captivating presentation, which you skillfully weaved by your research. Thank you so much, ma'am. And as we move to the last part of our session, I would love to call Ajay sir to please conclude. Ajay sir, over to you.
Yeah, it was a terrific session. I never had imagined that sequence which should have lasted 90 minutes has gone beyond 180 minutes. And on a platform like this, and with so many people, a huge audience today, and they sustained through this. Needless to say, the session was fantastic, and all the three presentations were absolutely marvelous. The first one, that chairperson will say about that. All the 3 were wonderful. But the best thing, the silver lining of this is that the way the students of Ranchi and Patna, they teamed together, and they gelled so well, and lifted the program is something unforgettable. Well, but ladies and gentlemen, there is also one thing many do not know about today's program is that yesterday the same organizers, they had run a mock show. So what is important is that preparation, जो भी गलतियां करनी है वो practice में कर लो, and this they did so well. So for any program in the times to come, we will have other programs also. We are going to have one international conference today. I signed a memorandum of understanding for that conference on 21st, 22nd, and 23rd September. So you all are welcome to join that conference also. The brochure, once ready, will be spread around. So over to the organizer and to the chairperson, Aruna, for the concluding remark.
Thank you, Ajay sir, very much for the kind words. Indeed, the conference was organized very well, and all the speakers enlightened us with their knowledge. Especially, I would like to thank the 3 speakers, Dr. Shuhas Seraphim, for his technical knowledge on population growth, ma'am, Gunjan ma'am and Amrita ma'am, for their remarkable insights about global population and sustainable development related to population growth. Thank you once again, ma'am and sir, for the wonderful lectures, and all the audience who have been patiently hearing, and the organizers who have done it so well. Thank you. Over to the organizers.
Thank you so much, sir. As usual, all of your words means a lot to every single one of us present here. And with this, we move to the last segment of our session today. Therefore, I would love to call Neha to please say the vote of thanks for such an incredible panel of speakers and the patient participants.
Am I allowed to speak few sentences before vote of thanks?
Of course, sir, please.
Okay.
Please.
First of all, this was not my subject. I am last 30 years working with agriculture, economics, rural development, banking, NABARD, whatever may be. But you organize this seminar, webinar in such a nice way. So I would like to suggest that why with the liaison with your St. Xavier's College principal, you organize a conference like that in physical mode, and we, NABARD, will support you by giving some grants on that. So we have a fund, we call it Research and Development Fund. And you can take clue from your Karim City College. In last January, they had organized a very good program, which governor had come, and we had supported them like that. So अजय जी आप जरा ध्यान में रखिए, और बस एक ही कंडीशन है कि जो विषय है वो कहीं ना कहीं सब मतलब वो डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली एग्रीकल्चर एंड रूरल डेवलपमेंट से जुड़ा हुआ हो. इवन बॉटनी, इवन आप बॉटनी का
सस्टेनेबल एग्रीकल्चर है, सस्टेनेबल एनवायरनमेंट एंड सस्टेनेबल एग्रीकल्चर.
बिल्कुल, या आप बॉटनी का भी इशू ले सकते हैं, क्योंकि कुछ भी जो अगर डायरेक्टली इनडायरेक्टली से रिलेशन हो, एंड विल सपोर्ट.
ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच. दैट इज वंडरफुल.
गाइड कर सकता हूं कि आपको सपोर्ट कैसे और कहां मिलेगा.
श्योर सर.
ठीक है,
दैट विल बी अ बिग हेल्प. थैंक यू.
पटना को भी यही मैसेज है.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
ठीक है, पटना के हमारे पटना के जो सीजीएम हमारे बहुत करीब के मित्र हैं. ठीक है, आप इस तरह का भी ऑर्गेनाइज कीजिए. थोड़ा सा मेहनत करना पड़ेगा. मुझे अभी बहुत फक्र हो रही है कि करीम सिटी कॉलेज जो है बहुत बढ़िया प्रोग्राम किया था, बहुत बढ़िया. ठीक है, चलिए वोट ऑफ थैंक्स.
As I'm sure I have said thank you so many times in today's session, but it is always less. So again, thank you so much, sir. But Neha, please say the word of thanks for our audience today.
Very good evening to everyone present here today, including our distinguished Father Principal, Chief Guest, Mr. Subhash Sirifan sir, Chairperson Arunabh Datta sir, Resource Person Dr. Amrita ma'am, and Mrs. Gunjan Anupam ma'am, and all the viewers from St. Xavier College Ranchi and Patna Women's College, Patna. It is an honor to have the opportunity to express my appreciation to all the members present here. I am grateful to the esteemed delegates of the webinar for their presence and efforts in making the event a huge success. Your words of impression and encouragement on this special day are greatly appreciated. I must acknowledge the organizing team and freedom clubs and volunteers of NSS from St. Xavier College, Patna, St. Xavier College, Ranchi, and Patna Women's College, Patna, for their hard work to lead up this webinar. But last but not least, thank you once again to everyone for making this webinar a success.
Thank you so much, Neha. Those words seriously touched us to the heart. And now I would like to end our session with just 2 lines. Success is not about achieving goals. It is about inspiring others along the way. And with this, our session has moved to the last of the part.
One
And again, thank
One
Yes, sir.
request to organizer, kindly share the mutual email ID and numbers to each other. Okay?
Yes,
of
sir.
course.
Okay,
Yes, sir. I
Pallavi
will
ji,
also
आप भी-
require your eye. Thank you so
Sure,
much.
sir. Most welcome. कभी मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रूरल डेवलपमेंट में आप आते हैं तो सर आप देख रहे हैं अभी भी मैं डेस्क पे बैठा हूँ सर. So I know I have worked as in bank also, so I know both scenarios, sir. So most welcome anytime when you are here, sir, around in Krishi Bhavan, sir. Most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am, for today's session. The guests and the participants, you may leave. Thank you so much. Again, and please stay hydrated, all of you. It is very important to drink water.
Thank you once again. See you soon. Bye. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.